Hey, it's me, ProJared. Welcome back to Deathgate. Where we last left off, we were trying to fix the Kinsey-Winsey machine for the dwarves who were being oppressed by all these golden gods. But they'd also have an elf ship, so that's weird. So, check this out. We got magic, though. We're going to cast magic on the sensor. Specifically, the heat spell. You know, another fun thing is that if you actually play with the runes, you can create new spells. So there are ways to actually like learn new spells before you're supposed to get it if you just know the runes and putting them together. It's a fun little system. Anyway, heat. Whoa! You hang that heat rune construct in the air. As soon as you have completed the glowing lines of the spell, the temperature needle sensor begins to smoke. The gauge needle jumps into the danger zone. The twin bell alarms. This rudely awakens the sleeping dwarf, who immediately panics. The commotion attracts the glowing guard, who's covering his ears in pain. He screams at the dwarf to stop the alarm, but the dwarf appears as helpless as a guard. I don't know how to fix this. Oh! And I'll sneak past. You find it quite easy to sneak by the guard while he's busy trying to get the alarm to stop. The ship's deck overlooks the dwarven caves. The rope ladder drops to the ground and stairs lead elsewhere on the ship. Let's go below deck. Oh. Hey guys. Slaves in this room power and guide the ship with the help of magic provided by the ship's wizard. These slaves are the first you've ever seen of the Mensch race called human, and you're a little taken aback by the similarity they have with your own people. Aside from their mongrel hair colors and their lack of heart runes, humans appear to be almost identical to patrons. You might even be able to pass yourself as one as their kind. Okay, yeah, so patrons, which is what Haplo or us seem to be, I guess we're more or less like golems of sorts. Hi, Duke.
Who are you? Are you a slave? I don't recognize you and you aren't chained. I certainly hope you aren't an elf sympathizer.
No, I sneaked on board. I'm here to rescue you.
Very good. Do you have anything capable of cutting these chains? Do you have an escape plan?
Nope.
Not quite. Not yet, anyway. Could you answer a few questions? It might help.
I suppose I have little choice. I have to trust you. I've been here too long and hope is wearing thin. My name is Andrews. I'm King Stephen's cousin, a duke.
Oh, Duke Andrews. Ooh, aren't you important?
What's the story behind these gods?
Drevlin is important because the Kinsey-Winsey, as these dwarves call it, pumps out water as a byproduct to whatever else it does. Water is scarce throughout the realms. In order to control this water source, the elves have convinced these gullible dwarves that they are gods.
Ah!
Their claim is based on a simple glow spell dreamed up by the ship's wizard. The crew is fairly small, only about 4 or 5 elves, but they are spread thin throughout the caverns. In order to maintain the spell, the wizard has created miniature statues that he uses as substitutes. He keeps them all aboard the ship in one place. As long as the glow spell lasts on the statues, no matter where the elves are, they continue to glow, and the dwarves continue to believe that the elves are gods.
Aha.
Why are you here?
Those
It's
are
a
all
long story.
very important clues.
I was leading my people against the elven forces on one of the smaller Volcarian isles. We were greatly overmatched, and they defeated us easily. They killed most of my army and took the rest as slaves, including myself. Luckily, they didn't recognize me as the king's cousin. I would be more valuable as a hostage for ransom than as a slave.
Why haven't you been rescued before
he's
now?
supposed to give me
When
something
elves capture
else here.
humans, they divide them into small groups aboard their fleet of flying ships. That way, rebellions are manageable and usually non-existent. Aboard these ships, slaves are impossible to track. Even if there was a plan to rescue us, they'd never be able to single out this particular frigate.
If King Stephen knew you were here, could he rescue you?
It's possible, I suppose.
He brightens up.
If you can get to my cousin and tell him that I'm being held prisoner here on Drevlin, he would do everything in his power to rescue me. You'll need something to convince him, though.
Quick, give me your finger.
Go to Eulandia, the 4th island.
Oh, he gave me a
Give
signal.
this
All right,
to the
I guess
king.
a ring makes sense.
The
too.
ring should be enough to convince him to believe you.
That's all. Thanks for the information.
As you wish. But I can only hope that you will return to aid us.
Yeah, probably. Oh, now this is how I learned how to go somewhere else. Now I know to go to the castle. Hell yeah, I'm wearing this. Sick. You slide the ring onto your finger and admire it for a few moments, then remove it. One shouldn't presume too much. So then upstairs at the elf ship, there's the glowing figurines. More importantly, wizard stuff! The wizards collected a few papers and other bizarre objects, none of which has any use to you. Everyone sleeps a lot. A wine jug? Take the wine jug. You take the wine jug. Drink. Take a small sip from the jug. The taste is sour, and the liquid burns and slides down your throat. You don't understand how anyone can enjoy this stuff. That's how I feel about beer. Oh, by the way, there are like a lot of game over things you can do in this game, like wake the ship wizard.
What is a human doing loose? In my quarters. I'll have to take care of you quickly.
A few quick spells render you unconscious, and when you wake up, you find yourself chained up in the ship's galley, doomed to a life of slavery. Whoopsie doodle. Undo. I should save the game. Save. Whoopsie doodle. Alright, we'll come back to that. Alright, so they're still dealing with that. I think I can just peace out of here for now, because I can go to the castle. To King Stephen's castle! Whee! What's this place? Off to the north, you see a splendid castle, although it is built more like a fortress. Hell yeah, dude. Oh. Gentlemen. The 2 sentries guard this gate. The path winds around the castle wall. Let's talk to them.
Why are you sneaking around on royal grounds, knave? What's your business here?
I'm not sneaking, I'm just...
I'm not sneaking. And who are you calling a knave, blackguard?
That's a form of the word guard I'm not fond of. Who are you calling a blackguard, varlet?
Who are you calling a varlet, ruffian?
Who are you calling a ruffian, scoundrel?
I'm not your guy, buddy!
Who are you calling a scoundrel, rogue?
Who are you calling a rogue, rapscallion?
This goes on for some time.
Who are you calling a rapscallion, thug?
Who are you calling a thug, miscreant?
Who are you calling a miscreant, cad?
Who are you calling a cad, villain?
Who are you calling a villain, scamp?
Who are you calling a scamp, scapegrace?
Scapegrace?
Who are you calling a scapegrace, cur?
Cur? You're resorting to animal references? Well, I'm all out of insults anyway. What the heck do you want?
And now we're friends.
I'm here to see the king. Would you tell him I'm here?
You and everyone else in the kingdom. Now, if I start making special trips to tell the king you're here, I'll have to do it for everyone else. If you had real business with the king, you'd have an appointment. Now just turn around and go back the way you came.
You don't understand. The king isn't expecting me, but I've got to see him. His cousin is in danger.
Is he in danger of running out of money? He must be pretty desperate if he's enlisting help from the likes of you. Do you have any proof? A signed note from the Duke? Anything?
Well...
Let me think about it.
Sure, you do that. If you pull anything out of the air that supports your story, you be sure and hand it over. Until then, you'd better be on your way.
Well, I have this ring. You hand the Duke's ring to the nearest guard. He examines it carefully, then eyes you with suspicion. Somewhat forcefully, he offers to escort you inside. It doesn't seem that you have much choice. Soon, you enter the royal throne room, averaging 5 dope points. You stand in front of King Stephen himself. Once a renowned warrior, he is older now, but remains a powerful and formidable man. He shuns royal robes in favor of battle armor, as if he's ready to lead his troops to war at any second. He sits comfortably on the throne and looks at you with a slight smile. Beside him hovers a brown-robed wizard. He casually introduces himself as Trian, the royal magician, but at the same time, he watches you warily.
What do we have here? A brigand who's stolen my cousin's signet ring? Someone who has kidnapped the Duke? What do you want from me, ransom?
Game of Thrones looking
I must
dude.
warn you, I don't deal with traitors to the crown. It's hard to talk business with someone who's missing a head. Now that we've dispensed with the preliminaries, tell me why you're here.
Your cousin gave it to me to substantiate my story. If you'll allow me a couple words between threats, I'll relate the facts.
Indulge yourself, my friend.
So
I'm
sassy.
all ears.
Well, it's like this.
You explain Duke Andrews is rotting in the slave galley on Drevlin. You're quick to add that you can't guarantee how long the ship will remain there. You suggest that the king send his forces to rescue the Duke immediately.
I appreciate the information, but there's little I can do. Drevlin is the elves' main source of water. They guard it jealously. My armies wouldn't make it anywhere near the ship that Andrews is trapped aboard. There is another way.
Yeah?
If my cousin is out of the elves' clutches, we will be able to free him. Somehow you have a way to get in and out of Drevlin undetected. Return there, get that slave ship to lift off, to go back to the Tribus Empire. I don't know how, but you must do it.
You want me to steal the ship?
Their ships traditionally follow a route through space that I control. We will set an ambush for it. As soon as we see the frigate, we'll box it in. Those ships are usually manned by skeleton crews. We shouldn't have any trouble wresting control. After the ship is ours, we'll bring it here and free all of the slaves on board, including my cousin. You are now my agent. If you are able to pull this off, I'll make it worth your while. I'll inform my men that you represent my authority, just so you won't run into any trouble. We are at war, you know, and my men are very suspicious of potential spies. Good luck, my friend. I hope to see you back here soon.
Well, I just got enlisted into some stuff that I didn't agree to. The guards, a little less roughly this time, escort you out of the castle and back to the main gates. They said there's a pathway, though. Let's go around the path. A shutter in the castle walls, covered by a warped wooden shutter. Bushes and trees have overgrown the path. Hey look, a shear. We take the shear. There's a shutter, and there's also like a little bar here. Where the shutter was warped away from the stone wall, you see a stout bar on the other side. It holds the shutter closed. Can I, push it? You can't fit your hand. Can I pull it? Can I lift it? Lift the bar with the shears. Boink! You slide the garden shear into the crack made by the warped shutter, just under the bar on the other side. With a quick flick of your wrist, you lift the bar out of its brace and send it clattering to the floor and get 5 points. Hell yeah, now it can be like, open? The shutter creaks protest as you swing it open on its worn and rusty hinges. Oh, as you start to swing open the shutter, you see someone enter the room beyond. You close the shutter to its original position to watch the approaching figure through the crack. When he gets further into the room, you recognize him as Trian, King Stephen's royal wizard. Trian walks up to a tapestry hung on the wall and, with a fluid, expert motion, weaves a rune construct in the air. What's that? Magic? The spell sinks into the tapestry and somehow changes the image. It looks perhaps a bit more real than it did before. Trian then walks right into the picture, becoming a part of it. He speaks with another figure inside, an elf prisoner in a dungeon, and then departs. Both the tapestry and the room. Immediately, the tapestry fades back into a dull imitation of reality, no longer a doorway into another world. I learned a spell! I always thought this is a cool concept. Oh, here we go. You slip through the half-open shutter into the chamber beyond. This living chamber is reminiscent of a library. Obviously, it belongs to someone of learning. Look at all these books, though. You scan through a collection of books, but only find one that interests you. A tome titled Tower of the Brotherhood. Oh, I guess I took it. That's right, there's a lot of books in this game. Like a lot of books. This is probably important for later. I'll let ProJared worry about that. Hey, a candlestick holder! We know who could use that. More importantly, I just learned this new spell. Create Reality Pocket. Like, what a cool name for a spell. Just... And now it's real. You weave the spell into the air. Suddenly the tapestry becomes a window into his scene, instead of just a picture of it. It appears as you could walk right into it. And now we can straight up Mario 64 this shit. Whoop. You step it through the tapestry into a dank dungeon cell. This is the archetype of a dungeon cell, Spartan and devoid of all unnecessary furnishings. Hello.
Why would you think that I want to talk to another dirty, stinking human? Why don't you just leave me alone before you start making me angry?
You don't look like you're in any position to make demands.
I may not be able to leave, but I certainly don't have to waste my time talking with you.
Waste time? What else are you going to do?
Sit here and not talk to you.
Oh, hold on, I'm back.
Why would you think?
Sorry.
You don't like humans?
You are barbarians. Uncouth, unclean. Fit only to be slaves or dead. Your only hope for civilization is to be conquered by the elven nation.
And everyone's racist.
So, do you like these accommodations?
What do you think? I'm stuck in an archetypical dungeon cell. The light in the wall never shuts off. I haven't had anything to eat or drink for hours. Ah, what I wouldn't give for some wine right now.
Ooh, one sec.
All right.
Hold on. Would you like some wine?
Ah, it's gooseberry wine.
He tilts the jug back and takes a few hearty slugs. Afterward, when he has placed it on the bench, he regards you with a much friendlier expression. Hey, what's up, bro?
I guess you're not so bad for a human. It wouldn't hurt to pass a little time talking.
Great. So, what information is Trian trying to get out of you?
He's trying to get information about troop movements and war strategies. The problem is I don't know anything about those things. I'm not going to tell him that, of course. His hope of getting that information is the only thing that keeps me alive.
That's fair.
So, you're a wizard, huh?
Of course I am. I'm only of the 4th house, but it makes me formidable nonetheless. If I hadn't been distracted by that serving wench, Trian would never have gotten the drop on me.
Can you teach me any spells?
Interested in magic, eh? I don't reveal my secrets to just anyone, you understand, especially not to humans.
He gives you an appraising look, as if hatching a devious idea. You decide to change subjects. I gotta find some way to have him help me learn a spell.
What do you know about the elven ship on Drevlin?
I think that's where we get our water, right? Elves have had control of that area for years. I know that you humans would love to take Drevlin for your own, but I'm certainly not going to help you do that.
Oh. Well, alright.
I know you hate humans. What do you think of dwarves?
Humans are enemies. You are barbarians. I suppose you rate hate. But dwarves are nothing. They are meaningless. As long as they serve our purposes, let them. It doesn't really matter how we get them to do it.
Do you know anything about the Kixie Winsey?
No, not really. It's been there forever, and it makes water. I think that there are dwarves there, right?
Alright, good job.
If you hate this dungeon so much, can't you use your magic to change it?
Well, if I could get out of these bars, I'd probably douse that glow lamp on the wall. It's impossible to get any sleep with the lamp always shining in my eyes. In order to remove the glow spell that's on it, I'd have to create a shroud of darkness and place it over the lamp, and it's out of reach.
Shroud of Darkness, eh?
How exactly does that Shroud of Darkness spell go?
Come here, I'll show you.
I think he just came on to me a little bit. Come here, I'll show you. Yes, sir.
Now, first you need a black cloth. The color is important because black absorbs all light. When you place the prepared cloth over the glowing object, the cloth is going to do just that, absorb the light, albeit to an even greater extent. Then you cast the Shroud of Darkness spell upon it, like so.
His hands cut gracefully through the air, tracing a glowing magic rune structure. You watch entranced as the spell takes shape. The wizard completes the structure. It hangs in the air, and you study it intently. Focused on memorizing the spell, you fail to observe the wizard's hand slipping into motion again. Suddenly, his hand grabs yours, and he jerks you out of your trance. Another spell hangs in the air. Benignly, the first spell fades away, but the new spell begins to take effect. You are staring at the new rune construct in confusion, your hand locked in his iron grip, when you notice a tingling sensation spread through your body. A thunderclap later, and you notice that you are looking at the floating spell from the other side. Immediately, the wizard releases your hand, and through the bars, you see him race out of the room, laughing. The spell fades, and you realize that the wizard used his magic to swap positions with you. You are now the prisoner in the cell, and he is free. You drop heavily to the bench. After hours of waiting, Trian walks into the cell. Seeing you sitting on the bench stops him in his tracks. You clear your throat and explain what has transpired. He listens intently and, after a moment of thought, decides to free you. Trian escorts you into his personal chamber. He explains that he was keeping the wizard's secret from the king, so he cannot report the escape. He tells you to forget that you ever saw him, and asks you to leave the same way you entered. Trian walks out the door and locks it behind him. Whoopsie doodle. But hey, I got some magic. That magic's gonna be real important. Because now I can go back to my ship. And I can use this magic to mayhaps stop some evil, dumb, elven people. But, so that's what happened in the next episode. So we learned a couple spells. I always really like that whole section with the dwarven, or elven prisoner. Where he's just like, yeah, I'm a prisoner, and he literally keeps me a painting. And only creates me into a reality whenever he wants. That's a really cool concept. There's a lot of cool concepts in this game that I should just steal for Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, again, please let me know if you're still enjoying this. I'll be watching the view counts intently, checking the comments, likes, and all that. If for some reason you're new here, please subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so very much for watching. See you next time!